The 956th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy-ho, degenerados. Welcome to episode 956 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We're dedicated to Rusty 10, who says, thank you, guys. You're welcome, Rusty, whatever you're thanking us for. Welcome to the show. I'm Jeff, the Tank Engine Fox. I just changed my name just before I went to air. Got tired of the full already. That's Daniel Gummer-Vreeland. We got some UFC for you. Apparently, there's a pay-per-view this weekend. Not just any pay-per-view. The annual November pilgrimage to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, and it's a fairly fitting fight card. I know I've been critical of some of their MSG cards of late, but this one can't really poke too many holes in it, right?
No, it's fun as hell. And I will say, too, it's almost got a sense of like one of the old school ones where you remember when the UFC used to have like pay-per-views where they just load up one weight class?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, one time they just did pure heavyweights on the main card. And it was kind of nuts. But this one's like it's moving day for welterweights, right? You know, you got Prochas and Edwards, you got Sean Brady and Michael Morales, and then obviously the title fight. So it's like it's got a big welterweight feel on there.
Yeah, and they do that. They at least have one fight at the same weight class as the title fight normally, just in case a fighter falls out of the title fight. I think so they could just move one of the other fighters in. So I'm sure that they have plenty of choices.
If somebody missed weight here, who do you think they'd move in? Or if, like, let's say Islam falls ill.
Brady, it should be, but
okay, that's my instinct too. Brady versus JDM would be kind of sick too. Like I wouldn't even mind that. I mean, I'd miss Michael Morales fighting because I enjoy watching him fight. But like, if Islam fell ill, I mean, I probably wouldn't even be all that bummed out.
Oh, how dare you say that? And then Blanchfield probably would be the case for the female fight if worse comes worse. But hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully his card stays intact. Probably shouldn't say anything, Gumby. I'm not a superstitious type. And I got wood here to knock, but we've had a good run here. For a while there, like years ago, it was every event was hit and miss whether or not you're going to get the fights that are scheduled. But this one's pretty good, even if there's suspicious betting activity, they don't pull fights. So we pretty much get what they advertise here. So and also like the undercard, most of the fights are meaningful too, which is important to do. And this is a good card for them to highlight some up and comers too, which is what they always should do on big pay-per-views and stuff like that. So it's we will give them their flowers, as the kids say, instead of usually criticizing them for their matchmaking. So this is our reward for having to sit through two UFC Apex cards back to back.
I will say too, you know, like we hated on those Apex ones. At least the second one was kind of fun. We got some good fights on there, and I will say I think we're getting rewarded next week too. The UFC in Qatar is kind of fun.
I haven't even looked ahead to that. What's the main event again? Remind me.
I mean, like you could just go main event if you want, but it's like the whole card is got fun fights on it. It's Susurkaev versus Hooker in the main event.
Right. Yes.
Which is, I mean, like, you know, pay-per-view co-main or pay-per-view third from the top kind of fight. And then you got Bilal Muhammad and Ian Machado Gary fighting on there. You know, the weirdest fight in the whole world, Jack Hermanson going down a weight class to fight Mike DeBeck Oralby going up a weight class. And then you got like some guys coming off of Contender Series that I'm excited about. You got the debut of Luke Riley, which is cool. Shem Rock is coming to town. Like, it's like just like a fun ass card in the over on that side of the world. So we're gonna get bangers back to back.
Fantastic. Definitely not a UFC Apex fight card. When you hear all those names on that their card, we probably should dive into the action today. We got a lot of fights, as is the case with pay-per-views. We have a lot of prelims to get you some winning plays for. So before we do that, reminder: college basketball is back, which means you should be, if you haven't already, subscribing to the College Experience to catch their daily podcast and Download the SGPN app for free college basketball picks, and you get MMA gambling podcast stuff on the app there too. So check it out, SGPN in your app store. All right, let's get to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Gardens, New York, this Saturday. Prelims, 6 p.m. Start time early. Prelims, 8 p.m. for the main prelims. And let's dive into it. 14 fights, so we're going to cover 9 today. So we better get a moving. We'll start off with a 155-pound fight. Viacheslav Borshchev, you may wonder who that is. I'll let you know in a second. He's from Russia. Matheus, Camilo, he is from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds. We're thinking this is kind of a last-minute fight, right? Because we don't even have graphics for it, and some sites.
He loves those on-screen graphics. I got nothing here because for some reason the UFC's official website and Next MMA, which we use it from, thank you to the 5 people at MMA. They don't have any of this, so I'm pretty sure it's happening.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I think Tapology just added it the last day or so. So yeah, and this must be kind of a last minute type thing. Camilo had a fight fall through fairly recently too, right?
3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, he was supposed to fight over in Abu Dhabi against Kareem El Sawadi. Right.
Well, he's getting Slava Claus. Yes, that is who Borshchev is. Fitting, eh? Slava Claus fighting this time of year, perfect. And Gumby says Shamrock is coming to town, just like Santa Claus is coming to town. So it's 'tis the season. All right, we're talking about Slava Claus. 8-6-1 with 6 knockouts. He's been submitted twice. 3-5-1 in the UFC. He has lost 2 straight. He's won 1 of 4. He got submitted in his last bout. 1-0 in Contender Series because everybody basically is 1-0 in Contender Series at this point.
Do you remember who he beat on Contender Series?
He beat someone good, I think. It was
somebody really good.
It was a come from behind win too, was it not?
No, he flatlined him in like.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm thinking of a different fight. No, I can't remember.
Chris Duncan.
Right. Yes.
He knocked out Chris.
Not
Duncan.
CLD, but both Chris Duncans are actually quality wins at this point too. So, yeah, very good. All right. 1-0 Contender Series, like we said, Chris Duncan. Inch taller than Camilo, better striking stats than Camilo, 3 times more active striking than Camilo. But we have 1 fight with stats for Camilo. 400. I think that might have been a short notice debut for him too.
No. You got to focus on that.
Okay, cool. Borshchev's outstruck his opponents by 0.49 strikes per minute. He's at plus 136. Jaguar Camilo, 9-3, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been submitted 3 times. 0-1 in the UFC. He's won 6 of 7 though. He did get submitted in his last bout. So that's the only way he loses basically. East fight up at 135 and 145. He outstruck his opponent in his debut. Who did he fight in his debut, Gumby?
Gabe Green.
Yes, Gabe Green by 0.11 strikes per minute. He's 9 years younger than Borshchev. You don't really think of Borshchev as a super old guy, but there you go. He's got better grappling stats than Borshchev, minus 138. And we'll let Gumby kick things off for us today.
I'm gonna go Slava Claus.
Really interesting.
Yeah, like, and I hear the knocks that like he's washed or whatever like that, and he gets submitted easily. Camilo's not a grappler. Like he's
a better grappler, but yeah.
I mean, better grappler by what standard? Like
better than Borshchev.
He doesn't try to and doesn't succeed in it. And in his most recent regional fight, he got badly out grappled. And in his most recent UFC fight, he got badly out grappled. There would be no reason for him to go to the grappling except for if he thinks he has an advantage over Slava there. And like, don't get me wrong, Slava's takedown defense has historically been bad. If you look at his stats over the last, over his UFC career, they don't hold up well. But like, if you look at the fight with Tom Nolan, he defended 7 out of 8 takedowns against Tom Nolan, and he was only on the ground for about 50 seconds in the 1 takedown he did get. So like, yeah, he's not a good grappler against guys who are like, pressure wrestlers or, top game grapplers or things like that. But Camilo isn't that, like watch that fight from, he fought for Korean Zombies promotion. What is it? Zombie FC or ZFC or whatever it is. Yeah. And he fought that guy who begged Dana White for a contract on the mic at the press conference. You remember that?
Yes. Most of those guys don't stand out, but yes, I remember a guy at a press conference doing it. Yep.
Asked him for a shot and he said he was going to give him one. He'd let him fight on zombie fights and Camilo beat him. And like, he beat him by decision, but like the control was all the other way. Like he did damage on the feet, but like not a good wrestler, not a good grappler. Obviously, that showed in the Gabe Green fight. Maybe questions about his cardio in there too in the Gabe Green fight. I mean, Gabe Green looked better at striking than he did. Do you doubt that Slava can look better in striking than Gabe Green? Like, Slava has always been a really sharp striker, a really fast striker. In fact, if you watch the film on Slava and Camilo, like, I think you're going to see that Slava is the faster striker. So, like, you can continue to write Slava off as, like, not a good prospect with a terrible record and who gets badly out grappled. But what happens when he faces somebody who doesn't want to grapple him or can't grapple him? Like, I feel like he's right in there, and I feel like he's a live dog. So I'm going to take Slava Claus.
Camille was 2 for 3 for his takedowns against Gabe Green and 2.5 minutes of control time. Does that change anything?
No, because I mean, like, is Gabe Green, and then
he got Green reversed him though. So
yeah, and then he got rear naked choked.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go along with you, Gumby. Sure. It's fun. It's more fun if Slava Claus won. Plus, I always like to take a striker over a grappler. Especially, this
Camilo is a grappler. I know you keep classifying him as a grappler. He's not
a better grappler than Borshchev, but most people are better grapplers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the lightweight division. Yes. If you take everybody, if you consider everybody who's better at Slava than at grappling as a grappler, then that's the lightweight division.
And he's Brazilian. They're all grapplers, right?
That's an easy way to classify and get picks wrong.
What if we made his name Camilo Ov? And then would it change your pick at all? I'll take Borshchev. I could use the dog kicking things off, and he's got the one hitter quitter, obviously, power, which makes him a game pick in pretty much any fight he's in. So we'll both go with Borshchev here. We're going up the card.
Also, I would mention too, his losses have aged really well. Mm-hmm. Like Terrence McKinney, obviously, it was the good Terrence McKinney who showed up that day. Tom Nolan's in the middle of,
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. McKinney.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tom Nolan's on a 4-fight winning streak, right? Like, that one doesn't age particularly bad. Then there's like Chase Hooper on there, Mike Davis. Like, his losses all like don't feel really gross. Mark Diakase is maybe the worst one.
And Camilo doesn't really profile as any of those guys, really.
No, I think he profiles much lower than that.
He profiles more of a grapple-only guy, right?
No.
No? All right, we're going to 185 now. Baisangur Susurkaev, he's from Russia. Eric McConico, he's from the United States, 185. Break her down. Tell you about McConico first. 10-3-1, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. 1-1 in the UFC. He's won 6 of 7, though, including his last fight. He has fought pretty much at every weight class, 155, 170, 205. 1-1 in pro grappling. He's been outstruck in the UFC by almost a striking minute. He's at minus 0.97. Plus 600 on the board. Susurkaev Hunter, 10-0, 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He's 1-0 in the UFC, 1-0 contender series, 3 straight wins via finish. He's fight at 170. 2 inches taller, 2-inch reach advantage, 11 years younger. Better striking stats and 3 times more active landing strikes. Better grappling stats as well. He has outstruck his opponents by 1.68 strikes per minute, minus 800. I don't know. Do we need a big breakdown here? Bigger, younger, better striker has fought and beat better competition. Susurkaev's my pick.
Yeah, I tried to talk myself into McConico because I personally am not sold on Susurkaev.
Right.
That fight with Eric Nolan, not to be confused with the Tom Nolan we were just talking about, really did not, like, everybody thought he was going to come in and fight 4 days after his contender series fight, and everybody would be talking about him like he's the next Kamzat, and it just made me be like, whoa, this guy needs a camp. Like, this guy's got to do a couple before he fights again. And he did, and so, like, maybe that'll help him here. But I think, the bigger piece is that, like, they gave him an opponent he could beat. As much as, McConico kind of surprised last time out, won that split decision. I can't remember if I agreed with that split decision or not. The bottom line is it was a split decision over Cody Brundage, and he was, like, out-grappled multiple times in that fight. And I know Susurkaev prefers to make his work done on the feet, right? Like, the kick to the solar plexus on contender series, and then, eventually those strikes piled up on Eric Nolan. But, like, he has that in his back pocket. We've seen him wrestle when stuff's not going well on the feet. And so, like, if that's the case, Cody Brundage got you down 3 times. Susurkaev can get you down if that happens to be what he needs. And then, McConico got knocked out by Nursalt on Ruzaboyev. We're talking about losses that aged well for Slava. Maybe that's one that maybe didn't age so well for Eric McConico. So, I like Slava or Susurkaev here.
Boy, Slava better win now. You're all over Slava. He does like Slava. All right, here is a interesting women's strawweight bout. I already know who Gumby's picking because I saw what he made for the thumbnail for our episode. So Angela Hill versus Fatima.
Neither of these women are on the thumbnail. But
really? Okay. I just looked at it quickly. Okay. Really? All right. Nope. It must be. All right. I didn't look at it. I looked at it far too quickly, apparently. All right. Let's tell you about Angie Overkill Hill first. 18-15, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. Been submitted twice. 13-15 in the UFC over 2 stints. You do not see many fighters with 15 losses in the UFC. Have we? I'm trying to
Jeremy
think.
Stevens.
Jim Miller have 15?
Jeremy Stevens,
maybe. Yeah.
He's got 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Does he? Okay. And Jim Miller probably's got to be getting close by now, you would think. But yeah,
I bet Arlovsky.
Yeah, I see your boy's back. I saw headlines.
Boxing, man. He's boxing.
Oh, that's crazy.
I found out later that was a influencer that he knocked out.
Well, good.
But
I wouldn't want him boxing real people at this point.
He's 46. He's still knocking people out. Let's give him his props.
Old man strength. All right. So anyhow, props to Hill for lasting this long in the UFC. And she's still a tough out. Loss over her last 3, 3-2 over her last 5, 0-1 on the Ultimate Fighter, 4-0 in Invicta, and the champion there. Used to fight up at 125, 2014 Pro MMA debut, 2-0 in Muay Thai. Better striking and more active landing strikes inclined. She's outstruck her opponents by 0.51 strikes per minute, plus 400. Speaking of Invicta, aren't they due for an event? It's been a while, has it not?
Man, it's been a while since we've had some Invicta.
It was monthly for a while.
And they've got a TV deal, too.
Yeah, I'll got to look into that after. The Archangel, Fatima Klein. 8-1, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. She's never been finished in a fight. 2-1 in the UFC. Dropped her debut, won the last 2 via TKO, which is impressive when mostly I consider her a grappler. You're not going to argue with that grappling comment.
No,
right?
No, she's nasty grappling. She's so good on the mat.
You know what else? She's got multiple regional championships on her.
Mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt. Get shirts. I always say shirt, but we have lots of shirts. Get our shirts. Get our merch. Or at least go check it out. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Holidays are coming, remember. She used to fight up a weight class as well, 125. She went 4-0 in Invicta. 15-6 as a grappler and multiple championships. As Gumby said, she's nasty on the mats. 3 inches taller, 3-inch reach advantage, 15 years younger. So the first 3 fights, we have a 9-year gap, 11-year gap, a 15-year gap. It's getting bigger and bigger. She has outstruck her opponents by 1.65 strikes per minute. She's at -444. So it's not her fault. I'm going to have to check our thumbnail again. All right, Gumby, go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny because everybody who is watching this had to click on the thumbnail and they're like,
"That's right. That's right."
It may or may not be her number 1 training partner that you see.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
On that image,
Erin Blanchfield, yes, okay,
yeah. Fatima Klein is still the pick.
Good.
Yeah,
I was hoping you wouldn't go Hill for some reason.
No, and look, I like Angela Hill too. She always kind of wins fights she doesn't belong in.
I know, which makes this line worrisome for me.
Yeah, but look at how good Fatima has looked in all aspects of fighting. And to your point, she won her last fight after straight dominating for 2 rounds. Right, it was a 3rd round KO last time out. Right, the head kick.
I think so.
And she straight dominated, and then for some reason was like, "That's all right, I can still show out here in the later part of this fight for no reason." And go back and watch her fight too with Jesuda Vicious. If Jasmine didn't hit the takedown she hit, she might have lost that fight.
Yeah, that's her only loss. Her UFC debut up a weight class against Jasmine Jesuda Vicious. So.
Yeah, and I think she was winning the fight every time it was on the feet. She took Jasmine down once. That is that's a top, that's a top 5 flyweight. And now she's down a weight class. She doesn't have to deal with the same kind of physicality as you're going to see on somebody like Jesuda Vicious. In fact, now she's the overly physical one. I mean, she's good from range. She's clearly got some power. Her grappling game is going to be so much better than Hill's. Her cardio is held up in pretty much every fight I've ever seen her in. I'm really high on Fatima Klein. I think you're going to see her as a ranked strawweight pretty quick. I mean, beat Angela Hill. That'll probably do the trick anyway. But I think you're going to see her as a player in this division pretty quickly. And this is a good leaping off point for her.
Yeah, I love what I've seen from her. She came in with a bit of hype behind her name, lost that really tough debut, and then has looked, in her natural weight class, has looked fantastic. But she's going to be knocking people out. Like she's going to, that's like something even her training partner Erin Blanchfield technically doesn't really do often. Piece people apart on the feet. Yeah, and she's only 25 too, which is crazy. Like she should have a very, very bright future here, and this is a perfect fight for her. And she still has a name. Just, despite all the losses, has a name.
She's not dangerous either. Like right. Angela Hill's good, right? Like we won't take that away from her even at 40, but she's not dangerous by any stretch of the imagination. It's mostly like can hold you against the cage and try to turn it into a physical fight. And she kind of dealt with the physicality of Jesuda Vicious well. So like, I'm not real worried about what Angela Hill brings to the table here.
Yeah, perfect test for Klein. I think she does pass it, but obviously any line this wide with Angela Hill involved makes me a little wary of it. But I think Klein's way better than her at any points in their career. Even Hill at her peak, I think Klein would take care of her the way she's looking right now. So we're both in on Klein here. All right, we're also not both in on my list, but we're also both in on MyBookie. MyBookie.ag brings you this podcast. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their popular is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out all the UFC lines we're talking about over at MyBookie. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, remember the promo code to sign up, MMA SGPN. You would help us out greatly, and you would help yourself because you would get 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So mybookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. And they basically have lines for all the most, I would say 90% of the regional events that we cover as well. So lots of good stuff there. Novig, Novig. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. It's in the name. There's Novig. So they have reduced juice on bets for you. And Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. And basically when you're holiday shopping, just use SGPN. Whatever site you're on, you never know, right? We're all over the place. You'll get something at the very least. Maybe error code, but that is something. All right. Here's another interesting fight, Gummy. We got nothing but interesting fights pretty much on this card. Chepe Mariscal, United States, Pat Sabatini, US. They're fighting 3 5-minute rounds if needed at 145. Tell you about Mariscal first. Machine Gun is 18-6 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, 5-0 in the UFC. He's won 8 straight and 9 of 12. He's not lost in September 2020. Oh, the good old days of the pandemic. Missed weight before this weight class, so keep an eye on that. As I've mentioned before, missing weight tends to make you lose fights. Just ask Mr. Bonfim last week. 40% overall fighters that miss weight win their fight, which is not that great of a number. This year, I think this year is 19%, Gumby. They're 3 and 13 fighters that come in heavy. So that is pretty wild. So hopefully Mariscal does not do that this week. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. He has fought at 155 and 170. So he is a very big featherweight. 2014 pro MMA debut. 2 years younger than Sabatini, twice more active lightning strikes. He's outstruck his opponents in the UFC about 1.88 strikes per minute. Good number. Plus 120 despite all of that resume. Sabatini is 20 and 5. 2 knockouts, 12 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. 7-2 in the UFC. He's won 2 straight and 3 of 5. He last lost November 2023. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. There's a lot of lows on this card. If people don't like me saying that, I'm sorry. 2014 pro MMA debut, 2-0 in pro grappling, an inch of height, an inch of reach over Mariscal. Better grappling stats. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.65 strikes per minute, minus 130. Give me the dog. Give me a Chepe and Mariscal here. I'm kind of surprised by the line here. He is the better striker.
Open the other way. Open almost completely, perfectly flip-flopped.
Yeah. Interesting, right? He is obviously he's not just a better striker, like technically and putting numbers up, but he's also more dangerous on the feet than Sabatini. Sabatini's almost strictly a grappler. But Mariscal also has the grappling in his back pocket. He offensive and defensive grappling, I think, can keep himself safe here because he has very good takedown defense as well. So I just think overall he's obviously a more well-rounded fighter, and the striking's a big piece here too. So I really like getting him as a dog here. So plus 120.
Yeah, I'm going with Chepe as well. And for me, you mentioned the grappling being good. I think the way that it's good is probably the most interesting part, and probably the part that gives Sabatini the most problems. Like if you were just going to say like he's also a good wrestler, but then you could sit here and argue that like Sabatini is a better wrestler. I'd sit here and listen to your argument, but the thing is he's not a wrestler. He's a judo specialist, right? Chepe comes from a judo background, and a lot of his takedowns involve a lot of judo. So like over under ties after he's done underhooks, foot sweeps, hip tosses, things like that. And because again, he's from a judo background, that also like lends itself well to like the scrambling game that he's going to bring no matter what. And don't get me wrong, Sabatini's done pretty well in the scrambling too. You know, you remember the knee bar on Jamal Emmers rather, same initials, different guy. Jamal Emmers, the scrambling, and he got the knee bar. But like Chepe seems like he's more durable than that when it comes to the grappling. Like he's going to keep himself out of trouble in terms of scrambling and in all of those situations. And then the other big piece for me is you're right. Not only is he a better striker and a more dangerous striker, but Sabatini's kind of a little chinny. Like I feel like, you know, not enough people have hit him hard for us to really know how durable he is. But man, I just keep going back to that Damon Jackson fight. And you know, Damon Jackson, he hit him hard, but like the way he reacted to it was so bad. And then like Jackson was in on a takedown and like beat the hell out of him on the ground because like, I don't think he was there anymore. And like whether or not people read that fight the same way, you know, because it's like a ground and pound from mount finish in the first 2 minutes. Yeah. It really was the stand-up of Damon Jackson. And like Damon Jackson had like 1 foot out the door and was like 38 years old at that time, right? Or I mean,
he had hair though.
Maybe not 30. I think that was pre-hair transplant.
Oh, was it even? Okay,
I think it was. Yeah, and then like he was like gonna retire and he got the hair transplant and tried again. But
he's got to pay for it somehow.
Yeah, but like you know, hair transplants aside, like has Damon Jackson? We ever thought of him as being like a hyper dangerous boxer? I mean, his boxing's good, but like it ain't what Chepe's is. Like Chepe hits so freaking hard. It's hard for me to get behind a guy who has taken punches from somebody like that and gotten wobbly and now is going to have to fight Chepe. Yeah, I like Chepe here.
Gumby, you're saying so many good lines for. I already have a title for us, but yeah, you're saying so many good lines today.
Nice.
We got to save some. Gumby's on fire. All right. So we're both in a Mariscal. 76% of topologists are in a Mariscal. Why did he open at -200 and now he's a dog?
I got to imagine it's just some big sharp came in and dropped a bunch of money on Sabatini. Somebody the books respect on Sabatini.
Okay, so hopefully there's no people aren't going to accuse this fight of funny business happening. Hopefully Sabatini doesn't walk himself into a choke or an armbar or something here. So
you mean Chepe doesn't?
Chepe doesn't, right? Yeah, Chepe's a dog, right? Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, he better not. He better not, damn it. If someone's going to cheat, it better be in our favor. That's for sure. All right. We're both in on Chepe. Yeah, I like this. I like this line a lot for him. I don't like, there's not a heck of a lot of dogs I like in this card, but that's one I do like. All right. Let's see if Gumby is a man of his word here or not. The main event of the early prelims, Gerald Meerschaert versus Daukaus. 3 or 5 minute rounds at heavyweight. I think you like both guys though, which may cause an issue for it.
I do like both guys here.
All right. Meerschaert is GM3 or Meerkat. Which one do you prefer, Gumby?
GM3.
Okay.
Meerkat's a better nickname, but it's just not who he is. He's not Meerkat. He's GM3.
Yeah, GM3 is lazy, but it's what we're used to with him. So all right, Meerschaert, 37-20. So 6 knockouts, 29 submissions. He's got a very impressive resume. 5 knockouts. He's been knocked out 5 times, submitted 9 times, which I guess you could say is durable. He's 57 fights. It's not that bad, really. 12-12 in the UFC. He's lost 3 straight though, and he won 2 of 5 and 2 of 7. TKO loss in his last bout. He's fed at 2 of 5. Regional champion, 2007 pro MMA debut. An inch of reach over Daukaus. He's been outstruck by 0.47 strikes per minute, plus 340. The Darce Knight, good nickname. 16-4 with 1 no contest for Daukaus. 2 knockouts, 11 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 3-4 with 1 no contest in the UFC over 2 stints. However, he's won 5 straight and 5 of 7. 3 straight via finish. He's got some old man power all of a sudden. Last lost to fight December 2022. Multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 1-0 contender series. Inch taller than Meerschaert, 6 years younger, so another age gap in this one. Better striking and more active lightning strikes than Meerschaert. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.32 strikes per minute, minus 350. All right. Are you going to justify a Meerschaert pick here, or are you going to go with the smart pick?
Man, I tried as much as I could.
Yeah.
I can't get there anymore. No. And it's, here's the
Daukaus is going to knock people out now. Look out.
Yeah, well, there's that, right? Like in Meerschaert's chin has not looked good lately. Yeah. And then there's the other thing too, where you mentioned he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Here's the part that's hardest for me about that 3-fight losing streak: 0-13 in takedowns in those 3 fights.
Yeah.
0 for 13 in the takedowns, and that just like, I mean, as much as I like Meerschaert, he's nothing without his ground game. Right.
Yep.
And he hasn't been able to get there for the last 3 fights. And now he's up against the guy who, even if he gets top control, like he might still not sub. Like he might have to get there again next round because like Daukaus, Daukaus is a great grappler, and maybe not even as good at jiu-jitsu as Meerschaert is, but like he's good enough to survive. I think he's good enough to make sure that he doesn't get subbed by Meerschaert. And if that's the case, like, what's Meerschaert's path to victory? Like grinding out a victory, like grinding out a grappling match. I mean, against a guy like Daukaus, it's gonna be hard. You have to be like a power wrestler to get Daukaus. Like Daukaus got taken down by guys like Eric Anders, and like Eric Anders again. Don't think of him as a wrestler, but he's powerful, right? And he could overpower you in the clinch and whatnot. I don't see Meerschaert doing that. I don't see Meerschaert getting a takedown. And on the feet, based on what we've seen, not just in the fight against Michel Pereira, but the fights in CFFC before this, like what we're seeing on the feet from Daukaus is he's really, really rounding his game out very nicely. He's getting a little bit of Chris Daukaus in him at this stage in his career. And that's pretty awesome for him. So, yeah, I like Kyle Daukaus.
Yeah, obviously I have to go with Daukaus as well. All the reasons Gumby's saying. And, if he's going to be dangerous on the feet, to go along with his grappling, and look out, especially against a aging guy with
not great head movement,
like
bad head movement.
he eats a lot of punches.
He does.
Surprisingly, he hasn't been, and then he really tries to go for takedowns because when he starts eating punches.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance we see Daukaus get a submission here too. Like he stuns him and have Meerschaert shoot in. I could see him getting a Darce choke. Front headlock Darce choke.
Have you looked into that line or not?
No, I haven't, but I just might have talked myself into talking about it later.
Right. Maybe Gummy can look into it while I tell you about Underdog Fantasy. So that was the early prelims, and now we're gonna dive into the main prelims after I tell you about Underdog. Underdog is your place for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. I forgot Gumby can't look anything up because he's got to give us a play first.
Oh, I got those off Dome. We've got we've got the Dallas Mavericks against your Phoenix Suns on Wednesday.
I think they fired Nico.
They fired Nico. That's and you know what that means? That means that they're gonna play with a spark on Wednesday. And with that being the case, I'm gonna take PJ Washington's higher than on his rebounds. They've been kind of banged up in the front court. I don't think Lively's gonna be back for Wednesday, so those rebounds got to go somewhere, and they'll go probably right in PJ Washington's hands.
There you go. All right. If you like that play, take that, and then you're definitely going to like this. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 of bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMASGPN. So remember, MMASGPN, Underdog Fantasy. I should probably make an Underdog video for you people since this is a pay-per-view. Maybe I'll do that. I'm reminding myself out loud here. Rhythm, RITHMM. Rhythm is crushing it in college football, NFL, and now just out of the NBA. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Gumby, Rhythm time.
Hey, the Mavericks are going to play with a spark tonight against your Phoenix Suns. I just said it. Nico's gone. The crowd's going to be enthused. They can cheer on the team instead of booing the GM instead. Give me the Dallas Mavericks tonight with the points.
Yeah. They can blame Nico, but the ownership had to be in on that trade as well. That's the thing. But anyhow, use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. So download Rhythm, RITHMM, and use promo code SGPN25. See if they get the dead GM bounce or not. Hopefully they don't. I've heard a dead coach bounce, but maybe there's a dead GM bounce as well. Who's to say? All right. The early prelims, nothing but bangers. The main prelims, nothing but bangers as well. Starting with this one. Another line that kind of was interesting. Malcolm Wellmaker, United States, Cody Haddon from Australia, 3 5-minute rounds, 135. Haddon is 8-1, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. 1-0 in the UFC. He's taken his fight on short notice. He's won 6 straight. Last loss, June 2021. 1-0 Contender Series, regional champ, 4 years younger than Wellmaker, plus 142. The machine Wellmaker. 10-0, 6 knockouts, 2 submissions, 2-0 in the UFC, 1-0 Contender Series, 4 straight wins via TKO or KO. Regional champ, 3 inches taller, 2-inch reach advantage over Haddon, minus 155. Yeah, like I said, surprised by this number, but I'll take it. I'll take Wellmaker at this line for sure. Short notice, obviously, a massive piece, as I've hopefully trained you people to know. Especially, I think this year. Let's tell you about this year. This year is even worse. Late replacement, 30%. They're only winning 30%. So, yeah, Haddon late replacement. Having to go from Australia to New York City. Does he train in? He trains in Australia, right? I would assume.
He trains with Jack Della Maddalena, so he was.
Right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure already coming out for this fight.
Right. Okay. But anyway, Wellmaker. Gotta love what I've seen from him. Knockout machine as well. Everyone in the Discord seems to be loving this line as well. I think this is a bad matchup for Haddon, especially in short notice. So give me Wellmaker.
I'm going to differ with you. I'm going to take Cody.
Oh, I had a feeling. All right, tell us
why. Look, so I love Wellmaker too. I think he's a super, super fun prospect. He's also fought 3 guys between the UFC and Contender Series who love getting punched in the face, who love nothing more than getting punched in the face. Yeah, and it's been great for him, right? Like he knocked out my boy Cameron Simon, who you know I love to hate on more than anything.
It's my boy.
Chris Motino, who ate 7 million punches in his like 5-fight UFC career or whatever. And then like what was it, Adam Bromald in Contender Series. And it's not that Cody Haddon has fought better or worse people. In fact, it's probably a touch better, right? He beat Billy Brand, who's kind of a nice prospect on Contender Series. That actually might be a better win than pretty much any of the ones that Wellmaker has. But the difference for me is that Haddon doesn't fight a fight where he's going to walk into punches. He is very elusive on the feet. Look at the stats on his fight with Dan Argueta. And yeah, Dan Argueta, again, not a striker like Malcolm Wellmaker. I'm not being crazy here. But it was like 140-50. He like had a 3-1 strike advantage in that fight. And it's not because he went in there and brawled and threw a billion strikes. It's because every single time that Argueta tried to throw, he was out of range and back in it with a 3-punch combo. And I just haven't seen Wellmaker fight anybody like that. You know, Wellmaker is a sniper. He's very good at that. But I do think like from a defensive striking standpoint, if you watch them side by side, I think you will find that I think Cody Haddon is the better defensive striker. And then on top of that, I do think he's got the wrestling game that can just like maybe keep Wellmaker on his toes there. We haven't necessarily seen tons of it in the UFC, or we haven't seen tons of it even when he was on Contender Series. But like if you go back and you watch him on the regional scene, like there's some wrestling pieces there that Wellmaker is definitely going to have to keep an eye on. And given all of those factors and knowing that he's kind of got that piece of his game, like, yeah, I like Cody Haddon. He opened as a favorite here. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
that's right. I remember hearing that. Yeah.
He opened as a favorite. And I kind of get why. I was shocked, right? Like I thought they would be in this on Wellmaker as much as our Discord is. But like, I was like, I understand why the bookmakers were where they were. And you know, Wellmaker's got a chance here for sure. I just don't think he's as good defensively as Haddon, and Haddon has the ability to punish him. So yeah, give me Cody Haddon.
All right. Interesting, but he told you why. So there you go. He's going to war with the rest of us. I don't know if anyone.
Sorry, guys. No, nobody else is with me. Not a soul. But you know what? I'll say this. When Cody Haddon beat Billy Brand on that season of the Contender Series, so that was 2024, I said he might be the best prospect who came out of that season. That was my claim at the time. I sort of stand by it. Him and Killian Salkild coming out at the same time, like those two guys out of Australia, like really made that 2024 season.
Yeah, like I said, Australians are taking over every promotion we cover. It's not just the UFC because they have a contract with Perth or wherever that they're going multiple times a year. It's a lot of promotions. So we'll see if this will be a good fight for regardless of who wins. It'll be very good at propelling them forward.
Yeah, I kind of hate how early they're doing this in both their careers. But
yeah. All right. Here's another interesting fight. our thumbnail, apparently, is Erin Blanchfield. She's fighting against Tracy Cortez. They're fighting at flyweight. Let's break it down. Cortez. When I was doing all her resume stuff up, I was thinking I was doing Blanchfield. I was like, oh, yeah, Cortez has got a really good resume as well.
Yeah.
She's 12-2. 12-2, 1 knockout, 1 submission. That's a little issue there. No finishing ability. She's been submitted once. 6-1 in the UFC. She's won 12-13. She did win her last bout. She's missed weight before at 125. Used to fight at 135. 1-0 contender series. 2-1 in Invicta. An inch taller than Blanchfield. She has outstruck her opponents in the UFC and the contender series by 0.95 strikes per minute. She's at plus 205. Cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield. 13-2. 2 knockouts, 4 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. 7-1 in the UFC. 9-1 over her last 10, including win your last bout. 4-1 in Invicta. A BJJ champion. She has outstruck her opponents by 1.03 strikes per minute. An inch reach over Cortez, 6 years younger, so another big age gap in this fight. More active landing strikes than Cortez. She's outstruck her opponents by 1.03 strikes per minute, minus 210. Gumby.
Did you forget anything?
And this is a rematch. I
forgot.
Erin Blanchfield won the first bout.
No, incorrect.
Tracy, oh, that's right. This is her.
It's the really brutal
split
decision that should not have gone Tracy Cortez's way, but inexplicably did. Erin Blanchfield won that fight. Invicta, I think it was Invicta 34, if I'm not mistaken. And Blanchfield clearly won the fight, in my opinion. They gave it to Cortez on a split decision. I'm going Blanchfield again, just like I probably would have the first time if we were doing this show way back when. But like the bottom line is that like I just don't trust the wrestling defense yet of Tracy Cortez. She's a better striker for sure. She got taken down 5 times by Rose Namajunas, who's not a wrestler. She's good at jiu-jitsu, but not a wrestler. And Blanchfield's wrestling could definitely use a hype up a little bit. But I think she can get her down. I mean, even Melissa Gatto got Cortez down 3 times in that fight. Cortez has had issues with her takedown defense, and the thing about like being taken down by especially this iteration of Erin Blanchfield is that you don't get taken down once by her. You get taken down once by her and finished. You don't get back up. You don't get a second chance. She goes in there and finishes you. So I'll take Erin Blanchfield here.
Yeah, I got to go with her as well. All the reasons can be said. More dangerous. Cortez may be a better striker, but she's not going to finish her, and then she's going to get herself taken down. So if you're not going to, get Blanchfield out of there or able to stay on your feet, then you're going to lose the fight. So that's going to be the case here. And then she will avenge her disputed loss. All right, we got 2 fights left. Another banger. This is at 185, Roman Kopylov, Russia. Gregory Rodrigues from Brazil. Kopylov, 14-4 with 12 knockouts. He's been submitted twice. 6-4 in the UFC. He's 2-2 over his last 4, 6-2 over his last 8. He did lose his last bout, though. He does have multi-region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Last time I'm going to say it this episode. Used to fight at 205. He's been outstruck by 0.34 strikes per minute in the UFC, plus 147. Hobocop, 17-6, 11 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out 4 times, 8-3 in the UFC. 4-1 over his last 5, 6-2 over his last 8. Knockout win in his last bout. LFA champion and a regional champ. Missed weight before at 185. 0-1 in contender series because who did you lose to, Gumby?
RoboCop lost on contender series? Oh, we've done this before. It's to somebody bad too. Oh, Jordan Williams?
Yes, Jordan Williams.
I got there.
We used to talk about him all the time. Does he still fight? Do you know? He used to be.
I don't know. Not in the UFC for sure.
No. Jordan Williams used to be a guy that caught a lot of shrapnel in the early days.
He's a type 1 diabetic. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jordan Williams, type 1 diabetic.
Good for him making it that far. And then for us to make fun of him. Mostly you. 3 inches taller than Kopylov, better striking and grappling stats, and more active landing strikes. So everything in Rodrigues' favor. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.5 strikes per minute, minus 158. Give me the Hobocop, obviously, here. All around game. Could be the key here, even though he's got OV at the end of his name. Rodrigues is going to be the better grappler here. If he chooses to use it, I would prefer that he uses it. He does take a lot of damage. He can be knocked out on the feet, and Kopylov does have power, but I think Rodrigues is better on the feet as well. And like I said, better grappler. Everything is in his favor. He's going to be the bigger guy here, so I will take Hobocop.
Yeah, the other thing too about Hobocop in this one is like, well, so first of all, I wouldn't play a money line on this fight, period. Like if we didn't play this game where we have to take the money line in every single fight, like I would just say pass. Because like one of these guys is getting their head knocked off, right? Just play the under. It's probably juiced insanely, but like, 12 knockouts on one side, 11 knockouts on the other side, both extremely hittable. But like to your point, I think Robocop's kind of got a little bit of wrestling in there, which I think is a big piece of that game. And then in addition to that too, like I do think Kopylov is, kind of to bring it back to the Cody Haddon versus Malcolm Wellmaker fight. I think Kopylov's like more hittable than Hobocop is. I just went back and I watched that fight with him in Chris Curtis. He got hit like 130 times by Chris Curtis and was like maybe on his way to losing that fight. He definitely lost the second round to Chris Curtis, and he ate like he was moving in on 150 strikes eaten. And like the thing about Chris Curtis is he's like been really poor with the output lately, and he was still landing that much. So, I think Hobocop hits harder than welterweight Chris Curtis, and in addition to that too, like could probably use his grappling if he needs to. So I'll take Hobocop.
Okay. Yes. Obviously, as I said, I am too. All right. Under 1.5 rounds plus 125. That's not bad.
1.5. Yeah, no, I think I like that. I think I like that a lot.
A fight ends in knockout, TKO, or DQ minus 150. That's not that bad either, really.
No, that's not bad. But I think that's how this fight ends for sure.
Yep. All right. Main event of the prelims, Bo Nickal versus Rodolfo Vieira, U.S. versus Brazil. Vieira is the black belt hunter. I don't think Nickal has his black belt, so he should be safe. 11-3, 1 knockout, 9 submissions. He's been submitted once. 6-3 in the UFC. He's won 3 of 4, 4 of 7, including winning his last bout. He's fed at 205. Multiple BJJ World Championships on his mantle. The record they have for his grappling on Tapology, I think, or maybe it was Wikipedia, 109 with 1 drop. So 100 wins, 9 losses, 1 drop. Better striking stats than Nickal. He's been outstruck in the UFC by 0.35 strikes per minute, plus 200. You don't usually see Vieira with better striking stats than someone. Nickal, 7-1, 2 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 4-1 in the UFC, a TKO loss in his last bout. 2-0 on the Contender Series. A world champion wrestler in a past life. An inch taller than Vieira, 3-inch reach advantage, 7 years younger, more active landing strikes, better grappling stats. And you don't see people with better grappling stats than Vieira. So there you go. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.25 strikes per minute, minus 216. So a tough test for Nickal here. What do you think?
I'm going to go Bo Nickal. I don't love it after his last performance. Yeah, because, that price, he looks so terrible against RDR. But, like, man, as bad as his striking has looked from time to time, like, I still kind of think he's a little bit better than Rodolfo on the feet. Like, Rodolfo's coming along, especially since he started working with the Fighting Nerds. But, like, I don't know. His striking to me still just isn't where it needs to be in order to, scare me off Bo Nickal here. If Bo Nickal does need a takedown, I think he gets it kind of easily, right? Like, Bo Nickal should be able to score a takedown. What happens in the guard is a question, but like my point is if Rodolfo is winning stuff on the feet, Bo just goes to the shot and lives in guard for a little while, lives in half guard or something like that. And I think he can keep himself safe on the ground. I don't anticipate Rodolfo being able to sub him. And, he hasn't recently, but Rodolfo has had issues with the cardio as much as Bo Nickal has in the past.
Yeah.
Bo had kind of like that one bad fight. Rodolfo, kind of same thing. Both of them against guys who wrestle and bring a daunting pace. So, like, I'm not really worried about Bo's cardio because of that, because I don't think it's much worse. So, yeah, I'm going to go Bo Nickal here.
Rodolfo's never been taken down in the UFC.
Neither is Bo.
Interesting. Yes, but who's?
Oh no, that can't be. Down? Is that true?
Yeah, 100% takedown defense. Yeah.
Then because Fluffy had the head and arm guillotine when Rodolfo shot. That's right.
Yeah. I'm taking Nickal as well. For all the reasons got me said. Still got to worry about Vieira's cardio, especially being the much older guy in this fight. And I would take wrestling over BJJ most days of the week. This would be one of the days. So there you go. Bo Nickal is the pick. Let's give you a recap. We got Nickal, we got Rodrigues, we got Blanchfield. I got Wellmaker. He's going out on a dog on Haddon. We both have Daukaus. We both have Mariscal. We both have Klein. We both have Susurkaev. We both have Borshchev. You are set now for the first half, more than half, 9 out of the 14 fights. We'll be in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We'll be checking out YouTube at MMA Gambling Podcast. We'll be on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Reeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. At Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram. Go to my Substack now. Free subscription will get you a entry into my pick'em contest for this event. So moneymma.substack.com. Gumby, Top Turtle Podcast. Tell the people about it this week.
We got Naira Rep and Nasty Nate Garib, who are going to be on LFA this Friday. And then we got UAE Warriors for Katsbek Yokubov, who is coming off the Ultimate Fighter. And I think he won one for UAE Warriors after that. So check that out.
All right, Top Turtle, wherever you get your podcasts. And we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Back tomorrow. It will be, who should I be? Hunter, Jeff Fox, and Gumby Claus will be there as well. We're going to do the second half of the UFC 322 for you. Bye-bye.